Making headlines, the Maldives expressed strong condemnation of Israel's recent military strikes targeting Iran. The Vice President extends an invitation to the King of the United Kingdom, Charles III, to visit the Maldives. And the Vice President concludes his official visit to Samoa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSMNEWS in English with me, Hafiz Satar. And now the news in detail. The Maldives expresses a strong condemnation of Israel's recent military strikes targeting the Islamic Republic of Iran, which constitute a violation of Iran's sovereignty and international law. In a statement released by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the government of the Maldives condemned the military strikes on Iran and called for the immediate de-escalation of hostilities that have exacerbated tensions threatening the security of the countries and peoples across the region. Furthermore, the Maldives urged the international community to undertake all measures necessary to support efforts to bring immediate cessation of hostilities, engage in more productive discussions to maintain peace and security within the region. The Zionist regime attacked Iran as an act of revenge for the military attacks made by Iran on Israel on October 1st. With Iran, which is considered as a powerful nation in the Middle East, being attacked, fears have been widespread regarding an escalation of conflict within the region. After attacking Iran, Israel warned Iran to refrain from retaliation. Following 3 waves of strike, Israel declared that the attacks for revenge were over. Despite Israel's warning, media reports have indicated that Iran will retaliate to Israel's attacks. Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif has extended an invitation to the King of the United Kingdom, Charles III, who also is the head of the Commonwealth, to visit the Maldives. The invitation was sent during the official ceremony held by the King within the 27th Commonwealth Heads of a Government meeting, CHOCOM 2024, held in Samoa. In a social media post, Vice President Latif stated that he was honored to meet King Charles III. He further revealed that he extended an invitation to the King on behalf of President Dr. Mohamed Moise to grace the Maldives with his presence. While King Charles III has been invited to the Maldives, his mother and the former Queen of the UK, Elizabeth II, made an official visit to the Maldives in 1972. During this period, Ibrahim Nasir served as the President of the Maldives. Commonwealth leaders convene for CHOCOM every 2 years, hosted by different member countries. This year marks the first time CHOCOM is being held in a small island developing state sits in the Pacific. Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif concludes his official visit to the independent state of Samoa, where he attended the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting 2024, CHOCOM. The Vice President was accompanied by a senior government delegation, including Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdullah Khalil, Minister of Sports, Fitness and Recreation, Abdullah Rafiu, High Commissioner of the Maldives to the UK, Dr. Irtisham Adam.
During his visit, Vice President Latif participated in several CHOGM side events, engaging in high-level discussions on critical global issues relevant to the Maldives. He delivered statements at the CHOGM Climate Breakfast, Building Consensus for Climate Finance Targets in the Commonwealth, the Commonwealth Business Forum, Island Leaders Roundtable, and the SMI CEO Leaders event. At the Sustainable Markets Initiatives CEO Leaders event during the CHOGM Business Forum, he also had an audience with the head of the Commonwealth, King Charles III. During the event, the Vice President extended an invitation to the King on behalf of President Dr. Mohamed Moise to grace the Maldives with his presence. Furthermore, Vice President Latif made a courtesy call on the Prime Minister of Samoa, PSMNEWS Matafa, host of CHOGM 2024. After the meeting, the Vice President expressed appreciation for the Prime Minister's warm hospitality and the exceptional preparations made for CHOGM 2024. He also praised Samoa's leadership role in the Alliance of Small Island Developing States and its efforts in organizing CHOGM 2024. This marks the first Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting since President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's administration assumed office in November 2023. The government remains committed to active international engagement and fostering strong bilateral relations with key global partners. The Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, held every 2 years, provides a platform for Commonwealth leaders to address global economic, environmental, and security challenges and collaborate on building resilience, enhancing trade, and fostering a sustainable future.
Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shiam has underscored the crucial importance of new innovations and technologies in ensuring sustainable fishing. The statement was made by the minister during the Global Ocean Development Forum held in China's Shandong province.
Speaking at the forum, Minister Shiam highlighted that the Maldives is a developing small island nation surrounded by the ocean. The minister stated that the primary objective of the forum is to foster international collaboration to protect and sustain ocean resources. He indicated that this goal has evolved into a critical priority of the Maldives. Addressing the rising global demand for fish and fish products, Minister Shiam pointed out that the Maldives face significant challenges in the fishing sector, including the adverse effects of climate change and unsustainable fishing practices. He noted that these challenges adversely affect many individuals who rely on fishing for their livelihoods. In his address, Minister Shiam affirmed that the Maldives is exerting maximum efforts to adhere to international regulations and practice sustainable fishing. However, he stated that the challenges faced by the nation can only be resolved with the united efforts of the international community. The minister emphasized the need for countries to adopt policies regarding sustainable fishing practices as well. Furthermore, Minister Shiam recognized the assistance provided by China to enhance the Maldives fishing industry. He mentioned that discussions regarding the development of this sector took place during President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's official visit to China, and efforts are now underway to implement these initiatives. The minister announced that investment opportunities are now available in the mariculture industry and for increasing fishing capacity.
Minister of Tourism Ibrahim Faisal has announced that Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation (MMPRC) will host a special symposium next year aiming to advertise tourism in the southern region. The remarks were made by the minister during the ceremony held to launch Addu tourism brand.
Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Faisal emphasized the importance of promoting tourism in regions where the tourism industry requires more development. The minister acknowledged that such regions face challenges due to difficulties in transportation measures and the implementation of tax within the tourism industry. Highlighting the need to increase awareness among the youth residing in the regions regarding the opportunities present, he affirmed that the government will exert maximum efforts to increase awareness during tourism development. Noting that developing tourism in the southern region is a pledge of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz, Minister Faisal stated that efforts are currently underway to fulfill this commitment. Under these efforts, MMPRC will be hosting a symposium next year aiming to advertise tourism in the southern region. The minister stated that invitations will be sent to tour operators from India and China and will see the participation of parties working in the tourism industry of the 4 southernmost atolls. Furthermore, Minister Faisal stated that efforts are underway to increase the bed capacity of Addu City and Formula City expeditiously. The minister noted that this will play a significant role in ensuring that Addu International Airport is operated the most efficiently. It will also pave the path to expand the tourism industry within the region. Developing the tourism industry in Addu City is a presidential pledge of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz. The government also prioritizes and has placed a significant emphasis on this initiative.
The Attorney General's Office AGO calls to investigate and take legal action on the case in which the previous administration compensated Deebaja Investments Private Limited. The AGO gave this order following a special audit pertaining to a settlement agreement made between the previous administration and Deepaja Investments. In 2010, the government, led by President Mohammad Nasheed, contracted Deepaja for a ferry service, which was terminated in 2013. Deepaja subsequently sued and won a $23 million compensation order. Under former President Ibrahim Muhammad Saleh, the government settled with Deepaja for $4.2 million, paying $842,000 in August 2023. The audit revealed that this compensation was agreed upon without proper financial assessment. For instance, funds were allocated for ferry construction without confirming the actual cost or number of ferries built. The audit indicated that Deepaja could face a maximum loss of $3.1 million if the settlement were revoked. To offset this, the government transferred an island from Ra Atoll for resort development, which was later sold for $4.2 million, benefiting Deepaja. The audit concludes that the settlement has led to financial gains for Deepaja at a significant loss to the government, prompting further investigation and potential legal action against those involved. Commissioner General of Taxation Hassan Zarir revealed his overarching goal of making the Maldives Inland Revenue Authority, MIRA, the most advanced tax authority in the region. MIRA is currently working on preparing a 4-year strategic plan. In an interview with PSMNEWS, Commissioner General of Taxation Zarir stated that the 4-year strategic plan is under preparations with the assistance of several parties, including foreign consultants. Zarir stated that the primary objective of the strategic plan to make the tax authority the best in the region. He mentioned that efforts are being exerted to seek public opinion on MIRA and revealed plans to bring transformational reforms to the tax authority. This includes fully automating the tax payment process. MIRA has held a forum with stakeholders this month under the name MIRA Stakeholder Consultation Event. During the forum, discussions were held on the preparation of the strategic plan and measures to undertake to enhance services provided. Maldives Blood Services MBS has reported that 3 out of the 14 thalassemia children who were sent abroad to seek bone marrow treatment have returned. Every year, the government sends a certain number of thalassemia children abroad for treatment.
Speaking at a program aired on PSMNEWS, Associate Specialist in Pediatrics of MBS, Dr. Ahmad Umar stated that all the children who were scheduled to travel for treatment funded by the Zakat House of Maldives has departed. This year, a total of 14 children were sent abroad, with 2 children returning to the Maldives after fully completing the treatment. Dr. Umar also stated that 1 more child will be returning within the next 2 weeks after completing treatment. Furthermore, Dr. Umar sadly disclosed that 1 child who was sent abroad to receive treatment passed away last week. He further revealed that the remaining 10 children have completed an operation and are currently undergoing additional treatment. After the bone marrow operation, the children will have to spend 3 to 6 months abroad for treatment. The government aims to send a total of 10 children to undergo bone marrow transplant annually. Under these efforts, the 10 children who are to undergo bone marrow transplants next year have started the screening process and are completing the necessary tests to determine their health condition. The Ministry of Health reported that currently, a total of 40 children who are eligible to undergo the transplant have been listed. Those children have compatible bone marrow donors within their respective families. Currently, there are 959 registered thalassemia patients in the Maldives, with 666 currently alive. 16.6% of the Maldivian populace are thalassemia carriers, and half of the thalassemia patients reside in the Greater Malay region.
The Panama Canal income increases despite a severe drought that reduced the number of vessels that passed through the waterway.
The Panama Canal's profit increased about 9.5% in the fiscal year ended in September to $3.45 billion, despite a severe drought that reduced the number of vessels that pass through the waterway. The third driest year in the canal's history reduced water available to operate, forcing its authority to cut the number of ships authorized to pass per day between late 2023 and early 2024, while limiting their maximum draft allowed. The restrictions, which caused long delays for some vessels to pass and forced others to seek alternative routes, were removed later this year after rainfall replenished the country's water reservoirs. The waterway handled 423 million tons of cargo through its locks and saw passage of 27.3 ships per day on average, down from about 36 the previous year. But a 5% reduction in operational costs helped ease the financial effect of the drought. Finance Vice President for Panama Canal, Victor Weil, citing preliminary figures, told journalists that the net income for the fiscal year 2024 reached $3.5 billion compared to $3.2 billion during 2023. The canal, which is frequently not filling the 36 passage slots per day it is now offering, is adding incentives for some vessels to return, including bulk carriers and liquefied natural gas tankers, while advancing $8.5 billion in projects for the next 7 years, including new infrastructure. A new long-term reservation system allows shippers to participate in auctions to secure slots up to a year before passage. Other measures include conservation strategies that reduced water usage for each passage by 12% in the fiscal year.
Israel struck Iran early on Saturday, but its retaliation for an Iranian attack this month did not appear aimed at the country's most sensitive oil and nuclear targets after urgent calls from allies and neighbors for restraint. The risk of a wider conflagration between heavily armed Israel and Iran has convulsed a region already on fire with warfare in Gaza and Lebanon, but it was not clear whether the overnight strikes would trigger further escalation.
Israel's military said sources of jets completed 3 waves of strike before dawn against missile factories and other sites and warned its heavily armed Ark Force not to hit back. Iran said its air defense had successfully countered the attack, but some locations had received limited damage. A semi-official Iranian news agency vowed a proportional reaction to Israeli airstrikes. Fears of escalations have increased since October 1st, when Iran launched around 200 ballistic missiles at Israel, killing 1 person in the Israeli-occupied West Bank in response to earlier Israeli moves and prompting new vows of retaliation. Escalating conflict in Lebanon, where Israel is waging an intense campaign against Iran's main regional ally, Hezbollah, to stop it firing rockets into northern Israel, has raised the temperature still further. With the United States and many Middle Eastern countries urging restraint, all eyes are now on Iran for how it will respond to Saturday's strikes. Local media had reported blasts over several hours in the capital and at nearby military bases. Israel's military, signaling it did not expect an immediate Iranian response, said there was no change to public safety restrictions across the country.
The Ballon d'Or was front and center in the minds of Real Madrid fans, making their way to the first Clásico of the season on Saturday, with high hopes that Vinicius Jr. will take home the trophy and be named the best male player in the world.
Fans filing into Santiago Bernabeu Stadium to see their side take on Barcelona said they were optimistic the Brazilian forward would make them proud and be presented with the prestigious award.
Vinicius has done a nice performance previous year. He is the reason that we got actually the Champions League, and there is no doubt by 28th of this month he's gonna get his first Ballon d'Or, Le Châtelet, France. I'm quite sure that he's gonna win it because he deserves it.
Vinicius' remarkable performance at Real Madrid have put the 24-year-old forward as the odds-on favorite to claim his first Ballon d'Or when the award is announced in Paris on Monday. Vinicius scored 24 goals and provided 11 assists in 39 appearances that were key to help the Spanish Giants to a near-perfect 2023-24 campaign, in which they reclaimed the La Liga title and grabbed a record-extending 15th European Cup. The Brazilian scored in the Champions League final and was named as the competition's best player. Bookmakers backed Vinicius to win the award ahead of Spain and Manchester City midfielder Rodri and Englishman Jude Bellingham. He is aiming to become the first Brazilian since Kaká in 2007 to win the award and just a third person not named Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo to claim it since 2008. This will be the first time since 2003 in which neither Messi nor Ronaldo made the final 30 main list of nominees.
India's enormous garment sector churns out billions of dollars worth of new clothes each year, but some local fashion lovers are switching to second-hand to associate worries about the industry's environmental impact. It is a tiny drop in a massive ocean, but hipster shoppers in the capital, New Delhi, say the example is slowly shifting. The throwaway attitudes are rampant among India's middle class.
New Delhi is dotted with markets offering second-hand clothes, a thrifty alternative for those on low wages or making an ethical choice. There's rarely an effective system for recycling cloth in India, with waste overflowing into towering landfills. India is the world's fifth biggest garment exporter, with the trade worth $15 billion in 2023, according to the World Trade Organization. The industry employs 45 million people, according to the government-backed Invest India agency, nearly the same as the population of Spain. Some in India turned to thrift shopping after being restricted at home during the COVID-19 pandemic and finding online stores promoted on social media. The second-hand market for clothes is microscopic compared to the industrial production of new garments, but shoppers say it is more about the message that it sends, and changing attitudes has to start somewhere. Swati Sambyal, an expert in the circular economy, warned that effective resource management required tackling the mass generation of textiles in the first place. She said that some brands were shifting to using natural textiles, including ones made from banana and pineapple fibers, in a bid to reduce their environmental impact. But in the end, she noted that nothing will change unless the consumer changes too.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.
එගාර නොවම්බර් නවාස්තක නොදිය හතරකුම් පෙසිගෙන්